Okay, let's continue our discussion and look at how we can build an automatic control system for steering our ship or steering our boat. Okay, so in a previous video, we looked at this control system, which was basically a human being looking at the direction of the ship and controlling the rudder so that the ship continues to move in the direction that he wants it to go. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to replace this human being with an automatic control system. Okay, so as we do that, the first thing that we want to do is we want to make a system that can actually uh, control the position of the rudder wheel itself. Okay, so let's say we want the rudder wheel to be in direction theta d. So this is not the direction of the ship um, as a whole, but only the rudder wheel. So that's the direction of the rudder wheel, and we take an error, and this controller controls a power amplifier that probably controls a motor that controls the rudder, and the actual direction of the rudder is theta. So you take a difference between the desired direction and the actual direction and control the motor so that the rudder is maintained at the angle theta d. So you want to turn the ship and you know what the rudder angle is that you want, right? And if you know the rudder angle, you want to move the rudder, and to move the rudder, instead of a human being moving the rudder, we say, oh well, why don't we put a motor there so that the motor can turn the rudder according to the direction that it wants to turn. Now how do we measure theta d itself? Okay, so to do that, let's build some more blocks around this control system. So so if the rudder angle is theta, then that is going to generate some kind of a torque on the ship, and that torque is going to turn the ship, and you can measure the actual course of the ship and compare it with the desired course, right? So let me kind of summarize here. So here's this control system. This part of the control system actually controls the rudder direction. And once you have turned the rudder, you expect the ship to turn, right? And you can compare the actual course of the ship with the desired course. And you can have a controller here that decides based on the error what direction you want to turn the rudder to now. So this becomes kind of the automatic control version of the boat steering system, or it replaces the human being who was actually doing the boat steering, right? Now, what we are trying to study in this course is basically how do we uh, design controller 1 and controller 2. What is involved in doing that? So we want to develop a theory to do that, and the theory that does that is called control system theory, or feedback control systems, or automatic control systems. So that's the place, or that's the aim for this part of the module.